Welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons Descent into Avernus.
Probably. Did you forget to unmute, perhaps?
I hit all the wrong unmute buttons. Welcome, everybody. I unmuted everything except for that. Oh, God. I've got to hit like 4 buttons. I got to get a macro that hits all of them at once. I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome to another episode of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Descent into Avernus. Let's start off with introductions, and then we'll go into a recap. So we'll start at the top right there, and that is Kashcah.
Hi. I'm Dungeon Master. I don't know.
She's running the game and trying to keep us from killing ourselves, though as of last game, we are getting much closer
I'm really looking forward to being a player again, because
trying
then
to
I've
keep
got
Palkas
this whole,
from killing us all.
I can say this whole spiel about who I am. Yeah.
Well, you still could.
No.
Okay. Anyway, straight down from Kashcah and to the left, playing as Malvola.
Hello, I am Nightcaste. I am playing Malvola. He's a Hexblade Warlock, Dragonborn, and really hoping that we get to take our break. I don't know if I can eat it.
Yep. And next to Malvola, playing as Coyra.
Hi, I'm Shy. I'm playing as Coyra, a half-elf druid, and I definitely agree with Malvola or Nightcaste. I want to stay alive.
And
2 out of 5 characters want to stay alive.
And next to her, we've got playing as Grimm.
I'm NobiGit, and playing as Grimm, a shifter monk who just, my opinion is, I want to stay alive, but I accept the inevitable. I'll probably die.
I see how it's
Because
going.
it wouldn't be
It's
the first time.
starting to go downhill as we move over to playing as Thorn.
Hi, I'm
Thorn just
Ghostwoods,
makes everything die.
and Thorn is a elven gloomstalker ranger, and I think at this point death would just be, another relief, honestly.
And then,
So it's 2-2 at the moment.
Yep.
then we've got myself. I'm Vallen. I will be playing as Palkas, who is basically a really big roll of the dice. Yeah. So, for the recap of last episode, we've got...
no thoughts on... What are Palkas' thoughts on death? Is he like...
He's also a
ready to
half-orc.
embrace
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
we
He's
need
a
a
half-orc
tiebreaker
wild
here,
magic
come on.
sorcerer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told you, he's random. So...
Yeah, but is he random, like, I want to live, or random, I want to die?
He's random. We'll see what happens. That's pretty much it.
So, no tiebreaker here. Good.
Nope. So let's do the recap of last episode 22 at Death's Door, which is where we were. And for
Where
that,
we
Thanks to
are.
somebody.
Knock, knocking on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do a little Axl Rose now. Just coming up.
Except I don't think it'd be Heaven's Door, I think it'd be Hell's Door.
Yeah. I was going to say Death's Door, but... Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
And
I was
for
trying
that,
so hard to
Same.
keep it... I'm just...
we're gonna have
hijacking.
We're gonna have Traxagor doing the recap.
Oh, yeah.
Which Traxagor is the wizard who was transformed into an otter that brought us here. So take it away, Traxagor.
No.
We started a battle with the Minotaur skeletons and were successful, though immediately upon approaching the building, several specters and shadows attacked. They severely hurt us and set off Palkas' magic surge in the form of a fireball that killed all the enemies, but also...
Not what Traxical said.
Oh, I don't care, this is what he sounds like now, but also downed Thorn, Coyra, and Grimm. Through some quick work of Malvola and Palkas, they were revived in an effort to find a safe place to rest.
Oh my
Thorn
god.
walked into the structure to find even more skeletal minotaurs. We barely took them out and voted to rest in a nearby building outside of the cemetery and started taking shifts on watch in hopes we could recover undisturbed.
Oh my god, what are we doing?
There you go. Thank you, Traxigor, for that recap. And today, episode 23, Going to the Chapel.
I just have to say, if that was Palkas' voice, I'd never survive a session.
We need it.
Oh, wow.
So, take it away, Kashcah. Last we were...
Yeah, so you guys were holed up in some random house somewhere, hoping that Palkas didn't snore so loudly that the guy riding the nightmare would hear him from 2 blocks away, you know.
Something like
that thing exists.
Yeah.
Palkas sleeps
Right.
really soundly.
He does, as long as he's got his cap on, which he does have.
sleeps soundly, but it doesn't mean he doesn't snore.
So what exactly do you roll for a snore check?
I would say stealth.
Oh God.
Is anybody got a pillow?
We're
You
screwed.
can just,
We're doomed.
Suffocate. No. Wow. Okay. No. Won't be putting a pillow over Palkas' face. Okay.
Quick, smother the snores.
Yeah. Exactly. So I did roll, and during Grimm and Thorn's watch, you do hear movement outside. It sounds like actually hooves clopping down the street. Are there any actions that you would take upon hearing noises from outside?
Freezing absolutely still.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hoping no one is actually snoring loudly, jokes aside.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I think you're all being pretty quiet. Perhaps not the best night's sleep because trying to stay, under wraps kind of thing. Okay. So yeah, they will pass by. They're not doing like house to house searches or anything. So they will pass by. Do you want to have a look, or are you staying where you're at? Okay. All right. So you will see like kind of that maybe the slats of the door have like little gaps or something like that. So you see this glowing like pass. It's between the slats of the door, and it's just this very slow kind of clopping of hooves outside as the whatever it is makes its way down the street.
And you hear the
and-
faint song.
Sounds
Someone
nightmarish.
and somebody singing behind saying, "Brave Sir Robin."
Yeah, but that's the only thing that happens actually. So the footsteps will proceed into the distance, and not the quiet of night, because there is still these claps of well, not thunder so much, just these shrieks of lightning, kind of. Maybe there's some thunder with it as well, and then you can hear in the distance, as the ground kind of shakes periodically. You occasionally can hear a building collapsing, just this kind of great crash of rock and stone. And as buildings collapse kind of around the city. So it's not a peaceful night's sleep by any means, because the city is not quiet at all. But that is the only event that occurs within your vicinity. So yeah, you'll get a nice long rest.
Yay!
Yes, I'm not
So
dead.
we recover spells and hit points and all that good
Question:
stuff.
do we also recover strength from those shadows?
Good question.
I don't think from a long rest you do. Let me check. That is a very good point.
You need to recover it
You
from an
might
even
need
longer rest.
restoration.
Let me look. I don't think you do, because I think that requires some different attention.
But we do gain
Oh,
over.
no, okay. No, you get it back.
Yes, I'm not dead.
That's different.
Yeah, this isn't 4th edition. So we gain back all of our stuff, though. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I can fireball
Right.
everybody again. All right.
Eh?
Hmm?
I'm confused again. This number in my spell slot means that I can use a spell 3 times, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was already confusing me. So I'm like, wait, what? I have so many spell slots for that one? Don't mind if I do.
All right. So, what you doing?
Imagine heading back to the chapel since supposedly Raven Guard is somewhere in that vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
And we have yet to find him.
Do I also get the hit dice stuff back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, your hit dice replenish,
And the wild
spells
shape, right?
replenish. Yeah. The number of
Okay.
times you can wild shape. Basically, everything goes back up to full.
Except you're still missing your left arm from that incident. So
That was only one of the
Wait, what?
rats.
Yeah.
It's just my toe.
that's what right arm's for, right? Okay. So I'm guessing that we're just quietly, secretly, as we can, approaching the church as before.
I don't know about Thorn, but I do let people know that, or everybody else know that, yeah, that rider passed during our watch.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Did it pass in the direction that we're headed now? Or did it return?
Of course it did.
No, you...
It went that way. I don't know if that's the same direction.
it's not. It kind of like the house that you're on is on like actually like the cemetery sits on a corner, and then there's like a road going that way and a road going that way, and it went that way.
Okay. So, Palkas is in the back, but
Did
he's
my bag of tricks reach in?
a
It
little
did.
further in the back than
Yes,
usual.
it's a new day.
Oh, I should beef Lulu back up again as well.
Yes, please.
I actually have
Lulu
to
almost
look
died.
how many.
That's unacceptable. Bit of a lemon
I mean, she's not the only one.
crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Uh,
Wonder how that happened.
I can't remember how many times the bag of tricks was usable, so I have to look that up.
I think you've only used it the one time.
Yeah, but I mean,
Or-
in general, just in case I have to add it to my little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
3.
They're both gone. While you guys are figuring that out, I'll be right back.
Okay.
There we go. I added it to my little cheat sheet.
So Grimm is being stealthy.
Oh no, my
Sort of.
dog team thing is broken.
I'm going and peeking in the window. You know, actually look before we leap this time.
Are we dead yet?
Look, my dog team thing is broken.
Oh dear.
Ah, that one hurts.
Yeah, mine is funny looking as well.
Alright, so you're peeking in the window. Coyra,
Yep.
what are you up to?
Joining Grimm, just making sure that nothing sneaks up behind him.
Okay. Everyone
Just
else?
refreshing work.
I'm kind of waiting for them to report back, just because the whole idea is that they're going ahead and scouting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Palkas is not one for scouting.
Alright.
Or stealth, or
So you have a look in the window, and you don't see any activity, but you can hear some movement inside. Kind of. It sounds almost like those giant crabs, but not as many. Like the tip tap, you hear like the tippy taps again, but it sounds like a lot fewer number of feet.
you sure it isn't tap dancing kobolds?
Maybe this time it is. But
Can I tell where, in general, it's coming from?
it seems to be kind of coming from I'm trying to think. It's either coming from like, hang on. It's coming from like this direction somewhere. So you can't tell if it's like inside this area, you know, the circular area, or if it's beyond that over there.
And all these windows are pretty much broken out, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
you could, like, you feel like you could probably boost up and like climb through this one if you wanted to.
I'm gonna check this one
Okay.
over here next.
Alright. So this one you see there's a curtain over here. And over here is so you kind of see like this. And actually, yeah, you could also see that there are two double doors over there.
Is this a big window?
Yep. Or was.
Anything of note on this side? Well, it's like there's the stained glass window on the other side, and I wasn't sure if there was anything on this side.
Let me describe what you see in further detail, kind of in this area. So, smashed remnants of fine furniture and the remains of stained glass windows are strewn across the floor. Sections of one huge stained glass window. Nope, that's for the other bit down there. Okay. Oh, hang on 1 second. Nope, there is one stained glass window that seems like it's, again, somewhat more intact than the others. Yeah, like this one over here, again, seems to have blown inwards. And you can see that there is still some big chunks, you know, that you'd be able to kind of make out what they depicted, but not from outside, like trying to look in. You need to be kind of standing over them, looking at them. So it's very much like the other side, but it's just, yeah, fine furniture. Broken.
Let Coyra know that it looks clear, but I'm going to take a closer look if she wants to let the others know.
Coyra nods and goes back to the others and lets them know.
Okay.
I'm going to go up and in and
Boost in.
cautiously start moving across the room.
Okay.
I want to get a better look at that that window or whatever.
Okay.
Coyra also said he's a bit crazy and went in.
I think we've already established that Grimm's a bit crazy.
I think we all
Still, I wanted to inform them that you in fact still are.
We're in Avernus. I don't think it's going to diminish over time.
Yep.
You
It
never
might
know.
increase. It might get worse.
So
When I went in, everyone told me off for bringing lots of evil minotaurs down on us.
I mean, you're saying people might get more crazy. Coyra has not burned wood yet since she has been in hell.
Right.
that's a good point. So what you're seeing, Grimm, is like this is one kind of chapel, right? And then down here at the other end is a different kind of chapel. So they both kind of look, they're both set up as if they are, you know, like small kind of miniature chapels inside this building. So this one has like big chunks that are remaining intact, enough so that you can make out the subject of the window, and it appears that it once portrayed Lathander standing amid fallen soldiers, holding his hands aloft as the spirits of the dead rise to stand at his side.
Lathander?
Lathander.
Okay.
So Lathander is a deity.
Okay.
The god of light, kind of a compatriot of Thorn.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Minotaur corpses still out here?
Yep.
Okay,
There's still bones all over the place.
that's good.
You know, since there's been all this stuff that's been activating and everything, and I've been checking everything with prayer already. We're going to do the whole kneel down. And since this is Lathander, say a prayer to him. He's kind of a companion god, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, okay. So so you kneel down.
You know, just in case we need to come back for healing or something, whatever this thing does.
Mm-hmm. So so you're kneeling down before kind of the remnants of this window, and Lathander in the depiction has his hands kind of up like this, and it looks like he's supposed to like.
Okay, so I do that.
Okay. So you do that.
Well, you know, kind of trying
and,
to glean whatever I can from it.
Mm-hmm. And in your hands appears a glowing weapon.
A what?
A glowing weapon.
What kind of weapon?
Hang on, let me look at your sheet. Sorry, I should have looked at this before.
A red herring.
Ah, shucks, I was hoping for purple.
It is a katana.
Nice.
Interesting.
Glowing. So I'm guessing probably magical.
It is glowing with like the rays of sun, you know. It looks
Nice.
like it has like the sun's kind of light radiating from it.
That's pretty cool.
And in this case, we're not going to fight the feature. We're just going to take it.
Okay.
That's a neat
Well,
one.
unless somebody else expresses an interest in a glowing katana, hey.
And you can hear actually now, there is, the noise appears to be coming from in here.
Yeah. I take it this katana is unsheathed.
Yep.
And what?
In which case, I will take the katana that I bought and kind of place it down by the window. Basically, I figure the sheath should work for this new one, and I'm going to have it ready and facing those curtains and hoping that somebody else
might come and find out what's going on.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I have since Coyra came back and let us know what we've found so far. I have basically made my way over to the bigger open.
Yes, seeing that Malvola is missing from where Coyra is looking, she actually tells you.
Well, it's not like he
"Maybe
would have
we should go
teleported. He
to-"
walked across the room.
I mean, Coyra was
the
not paying
space-
attention.
She's like looking at Lulu,
It's
then turns
Coyra.
around and it's like, where did
Wait,
Malvola
what?
go?
Yeah, Coyra says like, we should maybe go too.
Okay. Palkas maintains a healthy distance. He doesn't want to pass on any, diseases,
Booms.
explosions,
Fireballs.
unhappy things. So he'll stay a good 15 feet or more from people as they move over.
Okay.
Thorn,
Now,
of course, is staying near Palkas.
Yeah,
is
he's
this
going
the
to
type-
encourage you
is
to step
katana
away.
the type of thing that would require attunement?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, while I'm waiting, I'm going to sit down cross-legged and sort of begin the process. I know it takes longer than it'll take them to get in, but
Crush. Thank you.
huh?
Sorry. Crush just
boy.
What?
Mhm.
Crush just
We're
redeemed
dead.
Crush.
giving me inspiration.
We're dead.
You're evil.
Oh, thank you.
and kind of tried to make it.
Wait. It might be used on Lulu. We have
Oh,
hope.
that's true. That's true. I might. Alright, anyway.
More likely to be
Yeah,
used.
like we'd be that lucky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to that.
Oh boy.
So you're stand.
Crush,
so...
I don't hate you, but I hate you.
Oh, actually, while you're kind of standing up from that prayer, Grimm, you do see through that window another kind of view of that big pit that is back, and you also can see that there's another building off to the side. So as a quick reminder, that that big pit has this yeah, that thing has this putrid purple mist kind of hovering around it.
Right.
That's all well and good, but right now I'm worried about the potential tap dancing kobolds behind the curtain.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I'm not even going to bother trying to attune just yet. Just hoping using it will work. For now, using it will be effective. I've got it readied and facing the curtain.
Okay. All right. So Malvola and Coyra.
As I see the Palkas and Thorn approaching, I'm going to kind of indicate they should head toward these windows. So the idea being that we're not all in one place when whatever happens.
You mean when Palkas blows up?
Maybe.
Notice you're suggesting that Palkas stand way over there.
I can see from here that there's a curtain here. We saw that there's a curtain here and here, so there's multiple ways to get into wherever this one area that we haven't looked at yet.
Mm-hmm.
So are all these windows that were on the north side broken?
I mean, all of the windows are broken. You haven't seen a window intact yet.
I thought that we found one inside on the first trip.
But it was fallen
broken
over.
in.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
there isn't a window still in its frame that's in one piece.
But each of
Well,
us
you know,
could
the whole
climb up.
city's been shaking, and it's only glass.
Well, I'm my out of game guess is that there was some kind of explosion that created this crater and blew in the window.
I
Possible.
mean, there has been enough lightning strikes there.
I mean, it is this
That
one
could.
and this one that have kind of
An explosion
inwards.
like a fireball?
Let's see that again.
If they weren't smashed before, maybe they are now.
I'm quite certain that actually happened.
Alright, so
Okay, I'm gonna approach the curtain and kind of using the blade, kind of cautiously push it back a little. See if I can see the, I hope, tap dancing kobolds.
Malvola, are you being
Coyra.
sneaky? Or are you...
As sneaky as I can get, which is like, an Oompa band.
Palkas is trying to just peek around the corner to see what's going on at the moment.
Seeing that Grimm is getting closer to the curtain, Coyra readies her Thorn whip just in case anything jumps out that she can whip it.
Into shape.
We're good.
Ooh, it's not too late.
Oh god.
You probably have no idea. Okay, let's just keep going. So.
Sorry, so Malvola is sneaking in. Coyra, what is it you're doing with the whip? Sorry, I just got...
She readies the Thorn whip just in case anything jumps out towards Thorn that she can try and stop that
Okay.
by whipping it and maybe pulling it back.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
We've got 2 whip users in the group. You know it's going to come up at some
Yeah,
point.
I know. I need to just... I've forgotten my guard was down after a week off, and it was just okay.
I feel like I'm being too innocent or something.
It's
See,
an
Palkas
It's a
needs to
reference
take
to
the-
a song that was very popular before you were born.
Screw you, man.
I have a
See,
feeling that you and I aren't that far apart, Vallen.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
kidding.
he's definitely right.
Palkas needs to take the lightning lure cantrip
No.
because that's the equivalent of a lightning whip.
No.
You know,
He already
we
has
have
the
3 whip
accidental
users.
fireball cantrip. So it's a thing.
Anyway, what do I see peeking through part of the...
Okay, part of the curtain. You
Thanks.
see... so, I'm just actually...
If that's what I see, I'm running.
No. But you see... here, I will show you. These guys. There's 2 of these guys. And,
Oh man.
and they are... you also see that there is stairs down, which I think Coyra had seen already. When she was peeking through as a rat. But they are pretty preoccupied looking down the stairs.
Give him a push.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I find them a little bit adorable?
I
They
think
are
Well,
kind
and
of
that raises the
adorable.
question, like, how big are they?
so. They are
That's true.
medium size. So they're not like...
That's not adorable.
They're not small. Oh, come on. They just because
Yeah,
they're a
come
bit-
on.
bit
No, that's the
larger.
size of a person.
I
They'd have
know.
to-
Well, look at it all.
No,
You
if
said
they
there's-
were like the size of a halfling, sure.
They've got the little
But
picture.
no, that thing's horrifying.
You said there are 2 of them
Yes.
with more or less their backs to me.
Yes.
And I've got this new toy.
And so far they seem to be oblivious to your presence.
You know, maybe Thorn is rubbing off on me.
I deny everything.
I feel a Leroy
I don't know, you were just like,
up.
oh, hello,
Yeah.
companion god of friends. How are you today? Thank you
Stab.
for blessing us. Oh, look, you've gifted me a sword. Whatever could I do with this? Oh, look, Mezaloths. It's
Oh,
like
I
a
do-
sign
I
from
do
God.
follow the god of war. Come on.
It's as if you were given direction directly from the DM. I mean, God. I mean, well, you know.
So how much of a round would I get surprise attack? I don't remember how
Find out
surprise
once you-
attacks work.
You get 1 attack.
Smash. Smash.
Can I see where exactly they are in this dark area?
Yeah. Sorry, let me. Maybe I could show you that.
It's like, well, I'd move to engage, but I don't know where they
I
are.
don't know where they are.
Just blindly slashes.
That's fair enough. So you can see that like this is the stairs down over here. And they are standing right there.
That right there?
That right there.
Excuse me.
Okay. This is probably crazy.
Of course it is.
YOLO!
Since I won't have any immediate backup, and backup, I move faster than most of the party. Yep. We're gonna test this new katana.
Okay.
Which means he gets to see it in the room, right?
And my dark mode is fixed.
I don't know what kind of bonuses or whatever.
Do you
Just
give
this
any
time.
Blade has.
indication? Do you give any indication to the rest of us that you're going in to attack something?
I
mean,
think we see the
Coyra
curtain suddenly
Malvola
flap and
had-
him charge in with a new glowing weapon that he didn't have before. Might be a good sign. That-
Well,
Coyra is
I
just
don't know.
making the sign that he's crazy.
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know if the
I think
sword
it-
has any bonuses or whatever, but I
Mm.
hope that hits.
Yeah, that does
I
hit.
think it's after he initiates combat that we find out, oh, combat!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess we'd hear it.
And it does
Well,
that 11 slashing
Mm-hmm. So
plus whatever.
okay. So hang on, one thing at a time. And as you were gonna roll initiative, I see you guys creeping around out there. I'm gonna roll initiative.
Now that Grimm is suddenly the one to initiate combat.
So your katana here. that's a vanilla katana, right? It's not. That's not what you +1, right? Okay. So you find that it does a little bit more damage than you were expecting. Like maybe 2 points more damage.
Nice.
Okay.
It's got, what is it, Bane of Arthropods on it?
There's that. Oh, and I forgot to open Lulu's. Sorry, apologies.
You forgot to open the what?
Lulu's sheet.
It's alright, Lulu's not going to get into combat because Lulu's not going to die.
Now I've got fucking Devo in my head. God
Mentally telling Lulu, stay back.
damn.
Oh, I just realized what I rolled. Wait a minute, and there are still people below me. What?
That's everybody.
Yeah, I'm somehow first at the moment. I don't like this.
Yeah, Coyra.
Oh, you're in a good spot
Damn
for it.
it! Coyra moves into the curtain and, like she had her Thorn whip already prepared, she's gonna use it on this one. If I can find it.
Yup. Because you can go 30 feet with that, can't you?
Yep, indeed.
That hits.
The thought that I had is if you'd grabbed the other one and yoinked him down the stairs. Bye!
And I can pull him up to 2 tiles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm pulling him to here, that is just a bit away from Thorn, that it's not instantly slash slash slash.
I mean, Grimm.
Yes.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, see, he's used to.
Indeed. I'm used to him stabbing him.
she's used to it. Yep. Used to Thorn just.
Okay.
But I got a shiny new sword.
I'll
Also
stealth
a
ahead
little
and
bit,
stab things.
Had to
roll
play
20
with
is
it.
quite laggy for me at the moment. So if I am quite slow, it's roll 20.
Okay.
It's slow for me.
Yeah.
Alright, so he
Yeah.
takes that. Ooh. So sorry, can you I was doing one other thing. You're pulling him towards you? Like over here?
Towards here. Yeah,
Okay. Alright.
I'll probably regret that, but Yep.
And unfortunately, I don't get an attack of opportunity.
Nope.
So, Grim, you kind of get very quickly. You get the picture of what they were looking over this kind of railing at, or well, looking around the. It's like a wall actually. What they were worried about coming from down the stairs, because there's actually no, you wouldn't be able to see what it is. But there is a massive like sound of activity behind the wall, like, and this Mesloth seems sorry, 1 sec. This Mesloth seems to be freaking out, like he starts like full on panic, and you hear a massive
And somehow I don't think it has anything to do with us.
Would more of the darkness be revealed with where Coyra
sorry.
is standing?
Sorry.
No, Grim is
I'll probably
single-minded in his
regret
vision.
asking.
You're all
this is
single-minded in your vision.
Grimm is exuding a aura of darkness. No.
Oh no, that's yet to come.
That could be a raid.
These guys did it last time.
Alright.
But we did it my turn.
Alright.
See,
so...
you speak about darkness and Thorn went away. He's back.
Okay, me?
Hang on 1 sec, because I need to do a thing. Ooh, this is gonna... Okay, that... Okay. Grim, you see this Mesloth gets grabbed by a giant claw. Like this.
Wait, which
This
one?
one?
This one here. Like a giant
Would I
claw
also see that?
snaps out at him. Yeah, you might be able to see. Yeah, I think so. So a giant claw kind of snaps out at him and grabs him. I mean, he's like human size.
Does it like yoink him down the stairs, or is it just like?
It's grappled him, so it's got him pinched, and the Mesloth is like screaming and like trying to like push the claw off his body. Like the claw has this Mesloth pinched, and it's crushing him at the moment. So this Mesloth is screaming at this point.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, seriously, it's like okay. This is like
I'm concerned about what is at the other end of the claw.
Right.
Yeah, same.
You would be.
Giant mechanical crab.
Okay.
Now, is this like a crustaceans type of claw, or?
It does look chitinous.
Great.
It looks what?
Chitinous, like it has an exoskeleton, like
Okay.
like
Like a crab.
Like the Mesoloths do.
like a crab or some other like maybe giant insect or what else has big claws, big pinch claws, big giant lobster.
Scorpion.
Big
I
giant
was about to
scorpion.
say oysters. Oh my god, I'm good
Oysters.
at animals.
What kind of oysters have you been
Technically,
eating?
it does have an exoskeleton, but no.
How did I become a druid?
For your extensive knowledge of animals.
What lack of it?
Yeah, so that guy is like, currently being pinched. So Thorn, it is your turn. You've heard incredible screaming and a giant ruckus from behind the curtains.
Okay, well, I'll stop measuring things.
What can I stab? Oh no! Or shoot. You're good at both.
I'll move to there and open fire on this one, I guess.
Seeing the other one lifted in the air by a giant claw. That one's being
Yeah.
held.
Well, clawed. but
Right.
yes.
Okay.
or 20. You are so slow.
So,
Crazy.
stupid question again. If I'm on a creature's page, how do I see the challenge level thingy again?
It would actually say challenge level or challenge rating.
I'm not seeing it.
Right, so if you're looking
For what? A
this-
Mezzalon?
No.
No.
Like if you're looking at like a giant, let's do a giant crab. That's a good example.
There we go. Giant
It
crab.
says like you know how like when you look at it, it's got all the stats across the middle, and then below
Yeah.
that it says skills and senses, and right below that challenge. That challenge
Now I
is the
see
number
it.
one.
But
Sometimes
can it
it'll
be?
have either
Oh,
challenge
there
or
it
like
is. I see
CR.
it. I see it. Thank you.
No props. So Thorn, so you're shooting it 3 times, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one and the third one hit. The middle one does not. Or it hits it, but just bounces off its chitin. It says ow.
Red ambush a bonus.
Oh, actually, I need to check a thing.
Pow, pow, pow.
7 to 20.
Okay. Got it. Alright. Then another thing happens. So let me get this. Because the doors over here come kind of flying open.
Wait, over where?
Hang on, wait. Gotta put on the right. Okay, the thing.
Oh,
Okay, those doors.
along the back
Those
wall.
doors
Okay.
come flying open, and this kind of fairly muscled, fairly muscular looking. He looks kind of like he's dressed like almost as a priest. But he looks you know, kind of very like a very strong person. Like he's well muscled, quite sturdy. And he comes striding in, and
Just shoot him.
It's a trick. Get an axe.
and says the demons, they've broken through, and it's gonna kind of like actually run into this area here.
The demons have broken through. He does realise that we're in hell.
You have a point there.
And also,
No,
broken
Avernus
through
is-
what? Broken
Avernus
through
is
like
full
the-
of. Remember, Avernus is full of devils. Demons come from somewhere else.
Yeah, devils
Oh,
and
that's
demons are at
true.
war with each other constantly on the plane of Avernus.
Devils and demons are always fighting each other.
Cheers.
He did
I
say
didn't know that.
demons, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, just to point out, Malvola, Shy, you would both get attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to incite you to murder. It's fun.
I'm
true,
just
he
seeing a
does-
lunatic go towards a
Uh-huh.
giant claw, like rush in a room where there's bad things happening. I'm letting him be.
Yeah, he
I'm just
does-
looking at
He's
how
willing
fast he
to-
moved.
Yeah, that was a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that
has-
too.
Yeah,
And I'm
he
just
has,
like, the beast is
run
willing to offer this
run
life.
in.
Good.
But he does not seem to have any action to spend on doing anything. He runs in, kind of pauses for a brief moment, sees what's happening, and then continues running.
Okay,
So that's him.
that's him.
Then the Mezzaloth.
No handout for him.
Was that
He
guy
doesn't, no,
dressed in
I was
armor or
really
anything?
kind of disappointed. What was
Was he dressed in armor or anything?
it?
Bare chested?
He does not have any armor. He doesn't have any weapons with him either.
He's just some dude running
Like
around?
He's
I
just-
said,
Another-
lunatic.
He's another devil.
No,
Just
like I
another-
said, the
They're
lunatic
all
rushing in.
devils.
in
Well,
danger.
so are you, but we
already.
put up with you, don't you?
Barely.
Oh no, wait, you're a demon because you like to kill the devils, right? That's how.
Stop!
He's a demon in battle.
Malvola, do you want to
Sorry.
so as this guy runs past you, are you you want to take any action? Reaction it would be.
Not particularly. If he wants to charge headlong into the giant mechanical crab, he's welcome to.
Indeed.
Okay. Alright, sorry, I was skipping ahead a little bit, I realised. Alright, so the Mezzaloths. This guy. Yeah, let me see if he can. Okay. So this guy's gonna kind of skirt around you, Grimm. It's gonna kind of run like this here, and then
Does he come close enough?
for you to hit him? No, he's
Yeah.
like
Dang
staying.
it.
He kind of like, you see his like little like compound eye kind of, well, they seem to be looking at your sword quite fearfully. Yeah, so he's giving you a wide berth, runs around, and then he takes his trident. Oh, actually, no. Oh no, that's an action. He takes his trident and he's going to stab at the giant claw, trying to get it off his friend.
So he ignores this guy.
Stab at thee.
Interesting.
So he hits.
Completely ignores this guy. Anyway.
Did the guy not get an attack of opportunity?
I think he used his action to get as far as he got.
You only get attacks of opportunity if someone leaves your threatened area.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he
Okay.
stabs at that.
Right.
Then, this guy is gonna try and break free of the claw. The claw! Oh, he makes it.
Really? He
So-
makes it?
Yeah, he does.
He gets
and
free of the Garthim?
It's like, it's quite like, he does some damage as well because he just takes his, like, well, I don't know, they muscly. But he manages to pry the claw open so wide as he's trying to escape that he actually breaks like the other side of it off. So so there's one like now broken claw kind of, yeah.
And from down below, I'll get you next time, Gadget.
He's gonna kind of actually
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Alright, and that's his action to break free of that. Okay. Lulu's gonna catch up with you guys. Just gonna kind of have a look there. Palkas.
So Lulu just moved in?
Lulu moved in.
Alright. So there are curtains here and here. And we can't see through them, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Either way,
They're not
Palkas
burnt
is
like the
still going to
curtains
move
in the
in.
cathedral.
Let's see, he's here. I'm assuming it would take him like 10 feet of movement to get up here instead of 5. Because he's got to climb up.
I doubt anybody else has been thinking about that, so
But we were not in combat while that was happening.
no, that's true. That's
Right.
true.
And Thorn didn't exactly move very far.
Okay.
So I guess Palkas would move up here.
Okay.
I guess he'd move
Thorn,
there to
you
see
can
what
dance.
is going on. Yep, right next to his buddy old pal Thorn.
Thorn, it's been nice knowing you.
I want to see
Jeez.
something.
You're
I
all
should be
far
fine.
too worried about Palkas. That's not even worse than what's happened to you in the last 10 minutes.
He's the one that started hanging around him. What do you want? Alright, so That's a bonus action, isn't it? So I think he's just going to use a cantrip. Yeah, he's just gonna do I think he's gonna do Mind Sliver on this one.
Okay.
Which will just do a little bit of damage if it hits, and give him a minus. Mind Sliver. There we go.
Cats, don't fight on my keyboard.
Alright,
Oh,
so
no, now they've rotated it. How do you rotate fucking Windows display? Now, of course, my mouse thinks it's rotated. Oh dear.
okay, they fail.
Sorry.
They fail.
So it takes 3 psychic damage, and it gets a -1 to its next save.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Alright. That was this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That was
I
a
wanna give him a
terrible
little
roll
token.
in all aspects, but it still did damage. Alright.
Wow, yuck.
Mm-hmm. Rolled a 2, a 1, and a 1.
Anything else you want to do there, Mr. Palkas?
Nah, he's fine.
Okay. Great.
He's kind of taking cover around that edge there.
There are like shouts, deep-voiced shouts coming from down the stairs.
Okay. This railing, or whatever it is,
It's a wall.
along the steps,
Yeah.
is that like stone or something like that?
Yeah.
Grimm is thoroughly confused at the moment. This guy comes running in. The Mezzalaws completely ignore him in favor of. And then there's this giant claw coming from down below. He's going to hop up on the railing and look down.
Okay.
And suddenly a second claw appears.
Same thing I was thinking.
Well, he's got blade at the ready. Basically, looking for whatever's attached to that claw.
Yep. So you see. Select. You see this guy. And
Scorpion.
And you see.
Oh, lovely.
These guys.
Are those sheep or something?
Okay.
What are those?
So first, there's no handout for the giant scorpion. Boo.
Well,
but
it's a big scorpion.
There is a handout for these guys. I don't know if you're ready for this cuteness.
Oh boy. Dretches. What the? Well, we are in hell, so yeah, okay. Wow.
Sure.
And they're actually small in size, so they're not as big as you, Grimm. They're just thick.
They're just thick.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Wow.
They are chunky.
Okay, can I reach the giant scorpion from here?
Yes.
With an attack?
Yes.
Like with a melee attack?
Yes. And
okay.
You do have all of their attention, by the way.
Lovely.
Fresh meat.
That will hit.
Wow. Wow. You were given a stabbing implement by a god. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what must be done.
So 24 points of slashing damage. And for my that's my attack and my regular, or my action and my extra attack. And for my bonus action, patient defense.
Okay. It's probably a good idea.
Because I've got a little bit too much attention.
Okay. Yeah. Alright.
And that ends my turn.
Malvola.
And if the back of Grimm's pants are turning a little brown, just ignore that.
I'm going to head to about here. And I'm kind of stumped as to like, okay, what is going on in here? Because I haven't been able to see any of it yet.
We only see these three, if I recall correct, like that.
Well,
that,
and part of the
and a
giant
claw.
scorpion.
Yeah.
And a
Where's
claw,
that?
basically.
That go
That's
away?
what we see.
Sorry.
So ignore all the extra stuff behind the scorpion. That's what we can't see yet.
Mm-hmm. There's a wall here, but it doesn't go kind of all the way up, and Grimm is standing on top of it.
He's doing his monk
Yeah.
thing again.
Monk or monkey?
Well, he is feline, so
He's a cat. Yep.
yeah.
I've got a bat at things. In this case, a giant scorpion.
I'm going to use my action to call my pack weapon, and that's
Okay. Alright, it is their turn, and this guy is going to move through the scorpion space and hang out right there. Let's see, the rest of them kind of move up here.
Would I get an attack of opportunity on that one?
I don't think so, because first because he's small, and second because you're standing on top of a wall that is.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure.
Okay, but so this guy is going to attack the Messalon. He claws at him first, and hits that, and then it looks like he's trying to bite him, but misses. So the Mesloth takes a little bit.
Great way to break your teeth.
Seems to take a little bit of damage from the claw. Then these guys all look kind of like very upset. And actually this, and everybody else would kind of notice this as well. There's this, this guy will do it too. Oh, you know what? No, he's already used his action. He can't. So Grimm, you see, they start like exuding this kind of greenish colored
Dretch?
Yeah. From their bodies. They're very agitated and
Well, that's no excuse.
and need you to roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Great. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. It's really, the smell makes you kind of gag, but you're able to kind of like shake it off and yep. Alright, so that's their turn. Coyra.
Yeah, so upon seeing the claw, the first thing that popped in Coyra's mind was like, it's a creature with a claw, and I can do something with that. I'm gonna use conjure animals, and I'm gonna conjure some scorpions. I was actually thinking about scorpions. And
Okay.
that's 8 beasts of challenge rating 1/4 or lower. I think scorpions are challenge rating 0. So that's 8 scorpions. And Coyra just she summons them. Let me show you really quick. About here-ish.
Okay.
And she commands them to sting the gremlins.
Okay. Let me have a look. Scorpion.
I was waiting to use this spell for so long.
Alright.
Scorpions have a challenge rating of 0.
They do, yeah. It's amazing, but they can still do damage, actually.
Yeah. So now you also know why I asked about the challenge rating.
So can you So the scorpions, instead of rolling 8 individual attacks, they're gonna act as kind of a swarm, right?
Yeah,
So can
makes
you
sense.
roll the sting melee weapon attack for your swarm of scorpions, please?
Wait,
And
It's
it-
let
kind
me
of a
think. How
frightening
was that?
concept, a swarm of scorpions.
Roll one.
I
Tell me
remember a
again, how
band
do
of
I do this?
scorpions.
It's a d20 plus 2.
D1, D20 plus 2.
Okay. They can hit either the Mesoloth or the dude. I don't know which.
She already commanded them to attack the gremlins, so
Okay. So the
we're
Mesoloth.
attacking the gremlin.
Okay.
Yes.
So then they hit him. So then that's giant. Where did I just do? Did I close that? No, there it is. So then they do 1 piercing damage and he needs to, so basically he takes 8 points. Oh, except not quite, because they're not mad. Okay. So and now he needs to roll a con save. Sorry, I'm
Ever there was a
returning to myself
cluster,
quite
this
a
is
bit
it.
here.
I made it a lot more complicated.
He does seem to shake off kind of, or so he takes a bit of damage from the stings, but is not overwhelmed by their venom.
Mhm.
So but yeah, they do some damage and he looks thoroughly confused.
Did they all do 1 damage, or how does that work? Like,
So they each do 1 damage. So
so that's 8 scorpions stinging him. That's 8.
Yes.
Okay.
yes. But
Just
he
so that
did.
I know that I don't have to roll something else.
Okay, yeah, but he did succeed at his
Yeah.
constitution.
And that was it. This guy?
Oh wait, hang on, but he does take half the poison damage. Jesus.
Ooh.
Hang on, let me look at his. These scorpions might be like, oh, he's immune to being poisoned. Okay, never mind. Alright, so he takes some damage from the stinging, but yeah, seems
Also,
not
those
to be affected by the
scorpions,
venom.
the scorpions stay around until they reach 0 hit points, or when the spell ends.
Yeah.
When does it end? Up to an hour.
Up to
Yeah.
an hour, yeah. You can, or
So
unless
this-
you cast another concentration spell.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
concentration
like-
spell, so you have to focus on it. You can still cast other spells, but nothing else with a concentration unless you want to sacrifice this one.
Okay. Alright, so, anything else you would like to do? You staying where you're at, or do you want to move?
Yep. I made my scorpions.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, I'm moving them individually. No.
Oh, they're attacking the other guy. Okay,
Yep.
there we go. Thing.
So next up is the giant scorpion, and he seems to be focused on the Mesoloth actually. So he's going to again try to pinch the Mesoloth.
Pinch you.
Oh, and he tries. You see the claw or the tail come in for a sting as well. The tail misses, but he does pinch him again. So the Mesoloth needs to make and the Mesoloth fails again. So the Mesoloth is again grappled in this time in the other claw. So yep, okay, that's the scorpion's turn. Thorn.
Bad day for the Mesoloth.
Yeah, seriously. It's getting stung, it's getting pinched.
Big
What is-
scorpions and little scorpions.
Yeah.
What does the icon on this Mesoloth mean?
He's got a penalty to a saving throw until Palkas' next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
This one.
I'm going to shoot the new arrival.
Oh, this guy?
Of course you are.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna kill them all and sort it out later. Got it.
So, would you mind giving us a description of the guy one more time before we see him
Sure.
die?
Before he dies.
Mhm.
Okay, so he is he's dressed in priest's robes, He is
That's the
a really kind of hefty, sturdy, muscly looking guy. He's not clad in any armor and doesn't have any weapons. And he seems to be entirely focused on this fight in front of him.
You know the rules. Take out the cleric first. Right, do those hit?
Yes, they do.
At least we got to know him 3 times.
Okay. So let me double check. Okay.
I don't suppose his priestly vestments look familiar, do they?
Oh, he does look like you think you see some symbols of Lathander on there.
Great.
Okay, so he takes that much damage. Got it. Alright.
Which in theory makes him one of the good guys.
He has
Well,
red
you know,
eyes
Thorn.
and tentacles.
No, you
He has
already know
his
that.
icon.
They're dreadlocks.
We all know Thorn. He steps first, ask questions later.
And you also know that Kashcah is
Every
known for being...
incidental person that we've come across that hasn't introduced themselves by name has been the devil who attacks us. Every single one.
Also, if you
I mean,
forget,
this guy had no chance.
Kashcah was using a male icon of somebody wearing completely different armor for some of the other characters that we were
No, this guy
removing.
is how he looks.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, but you want an
Okay,
example
so
of
yeah,
somebody
I
who
get the
didn't...
evil bit then.
You want an example of somebody who didn't introduce themselves, though? The
And then we
woman...
didn't kill?
The woman in the catacombs at the cathedral.
Right, it was pretty much just what
Yeah,
we heard her conversation.
I didn't entirely trust her, frankly. But anyone else would have picked me
She's
if
like
I'd shot
next
her.
on the list. We'll get to her later.
Thorn just is like a hit list. Are you sure you're not an assassin?
Alright.
Well, I've been thinking about dipping. Give me a couple of levels of rogue and I'll see what I can do.
I don't even want to think. Oh, Glimstriker plus Assassin Spec and Rogue. Oh.
Jesus.
So he snarls back towards you, Thorn. What are you doing? And then he kind of just snatches the arrows off his back and like discards them to the side as he rushes in, and just like fisticuffs, like just wails on this dredge, like just fists flying, just piles in and punches him.
He's completely ignoring the Malvola.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he punches at the dredge twice and hits both times.
That makes me wonder if he's Order of the Sun Soul. Well, no. Order of the Sun Soul is a monk order, actual monk order dedicated to Lathander.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of amusing how he's been shot twice. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Praise be to the Lord.
Not that Thorn cares.
This dredge looks like it's ready to like pass out. Just these haymakers hitting him squarely in the head, and it looks like he's seriously hurt. Okay. The Mesoloths. So this guy is going to continue to try and stab at the big scorpion with his he's kind of stabbing at it with his trident. Okay, he does hit him. Sorry, there's a lot to keep track of. And
Yeah, suddenly there's like 8 more scorpions.
yeah. And then this guy's gonna try once again to break free. He wants to break free. And he does. And
He broke free again.
he broke free again.
Did he break free in such a way that the scorpion now has no claw to use in
No, this time he did not. It was much less dramatic.
it?
And Lulu comes up and says, "What's going on in there?" to you, Coyra.
Scorpions and gremlins.
Maybe Lulu could tell you who that person really is.
I mean, that's what Coyra told Lulu. Scorpions and gremlins.
Palkas.
Palkas would turn to Thorn and say, "Why do you attack that man? We know nothing of him. We can sort it out after we take care of the monsters first." And he fires another shot at the Mazaloth that's closest.
This guy?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And he'll cast a spell.
Okay.
I think I'm just out of range for any potential fireballs. Good.
It's a bonus action
No,
spell,
not.
so he'll
No, you're
actually
fine.
do a cantrip and then a spell. He'll do, no, he'll do it in reverse. He'll do the bonus action and then the spell, or the bonus action spell, and then he'll do the cantrip action. So he's going to cast Mind Thrust, which has got a DC 14, technically a DC
on this
15.
one?
Yeah. Intelligence save.
Nope.
And that was the spell.
That was the spell.
Yes.
Or no, yeah, that was the spell and a bonus action. Yep. And
Okay.
Save.
13. All right, and then he's going to cast Mind Sliver again.
So rude. On
Oh
this guy.
wow!
Just because he's not very smart. He fails his intelligence save again.
All right, so he's got another -4 on him now.
Okay, and he
And
takes the 6 psychic damage.
Yep.
It doesn't look so good.
Okay.
I did. It's
built in. He rolled a 13
Yeah,
on his
it's this
armor.
bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't. There's so much there I didn't.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
tell.
There is a lot of.
I understand.
I could have more put in there, but I was like, no, that's all that's needed.
All right.
And he can only dash or disengage as his action for the next turn.
Okay. Right. Are you staying where you're at?
Yes, he's still hiding behind the corner next to Thorn.
Right. Grimm.
Today. Nice.
I had to add that.
Okay. We're gonna. I think since they don't seem to be paying attention to me, this will be the time. Would start with that on the giant scorpion.
That hits.
And once I swung, let go with one hand and the offhand. Oh, crap. I doubt that hits the scorpion.
It does not.
However,
Scorpion's kind of staggering a bit. It's not doing so good.
going
at all.
to,
It's mostly dead.
yeah, burn a key point to,
Flurry of
imagine only one of those hits.
Yep.
Flurry of bolts.
That's on the scorpion.
Flurry of
again?
bolts for 9 radiant damage against the scorpion.
Okay. Yeah,
Out of
that's
3 bolts, 1 hits. Wow.
Scorpion is dead.
You do realize you just popped the cork though, right?
Yeah, I know. I know.
At least I'm still happy that I don't know about those creatures. They don't exist yet.
Yet.
I'm happy.
And that ends my turn.
Alright, Malvola.
Something tells me you're going to find out about them soon.
Yeah, something tells me that too.
I'm targeting both of them as a lot.
Wait, which are they? Who are they targeted at?
The gremlins.
The Mezzaloths.
So one each.
Yes.
Okay, which
A
one's
boop
which?
for you and a boop for you.
The 20 would be at the one to the south.
Okay.
And then I guess the 14 would be at.
Okay, so the 20 hits. The 14 does not.
Okay. So this one takes 14 damage.
Ow.
Very forceful damage, no less.
That hurts.
Boop.
Staying where you're at.
Yeah. I don't see a need to get
there's
closer.
Loads of space over here. Look at all this space.
Why do you want us to go there? That's dangerous right there.
Thorn's feeling lonely. Obviously.
He's got his best friend right next to him.
Okay, so this guy is going to move over here.
I just imagine the scorpion just sliding down the stairs because it died.
And we're kind of moving up.
Knocking the feet out of all of the dredges.
This guy is gonna try and get you, Grimm. He's gonna claw at you. I think that misses with a 10.
Yeah, that misses.
Okay. And a 15 also misses?
Yep.
Okay. This guy...
AC 18.
Okay. This guy is going to... These two actually are going to attack this Mezzaloth. Actually, no, this guy is going to attack the dude because he did get just
He got punched in the face.
So he is going to... Oh, and actually, at this point, he will use... Okay.
His pungent odor attack.
So he does that. What's his... Okay, he does manage to sink his teeth into him. Doesn't seem to do much damage, though. Okay. And there is this green kind of gas that just is spreading, kind of seeping. Now you can all see it kind of oozing across the floor and seems to be covering like the Mezzaloths, 2 Mezzaloths, and the man. So they all need to make
Man.
Con save. Okay, so the second Mezzaloth failed his con save, and he did. Okay. Alright, so this Mezzaloth is also poisoned. Alright, and that's their turn. Coyra.
First thing Coyra does, I think Thorn Whip doesn't require concentration. If it does, I can't find it. So, wait, am I close enough actually before I do that? I am. I'm gonna hit this or try to hit that one with my Thorn Whip. That doesn't hit.
This one? No, it does not.
And then I tell the scorpions to sting at the gremlin again.
Okay.
This one.
Alright.
Wait, that was slash roll 1d20 plus 2?
Mm-hmm. They don't seem to be able to get past the chitin this time.
And it ends my turn.
Oh,
I'm fine where I am.
Did this guy actually make a save while he was fighting with the other guys briefly? You said he got poisoned.
Yeah.
So then that effect is gone now.
Oh, okay, because it just works for one.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Thorn.
I'm going to shout, Lulu, get in here and tell me if that red-eyed guy is
Okay.
Poor Lulu. Poor Lulu.
And I will hold my action to shoot him, depending on her reply.
Of course you want to shoot him again.
Look, if he's evil, he is by far the most dangerous thing in. If we can soften him up while he's distracted, we have a much better chance of surviving.
It's true.
Hopefully Lulu can tell us.
Maybe.
So that's my action.
Okay.
I'm going to yell for Lulu and wait for it to tell me.
All right.
You know Lulu is not an all-knowing being, right?
No, but
Little do you know.
she's a fucking angel.
Right?
If she can't detect good and evil, she's not much of an angel.
I mean, last time we had an encounter with a
Drop it at you.
human, she wasn't able to say it was a demon.
Well,
Honestly-
we didn't ask her.
keep an
We
an
did.
open mind that she's also hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Look, if she tells me she can't tell, then I'll just take that as confirmation.
See,
Alright,
anything to shoot.
So that guy gets punched to death. This priest is just like it's like, you know, you see just keep punching until the brain is just, yeah, that's what happens. That's his turn. And the Mesaloth actually
The
he's
one can-
also going to do
the one can still only dash or disengage.
okay.
Just
You
so-
see him kind of, Grimm, you might see this, actually, probably the only one that sees this. This guy kind of fixes his gaze on this stretch back here. And, the dredge is going to have to do a thing. Okay, the dredge does not succeed at the thing. Okay. Oh, does that have a...
I am being circles.
No, it doesn't. God damn it.
I'm just watching these scorpion dots just like kind of dance around.
So he fixes
I mean,
his
they were
gaze.
attacking that one.
Fixes his gaze on that dredge, and the dredge's face just seems to... It's exactly like Dark Crystal, right? Where like the essence gets drained from the gelfling, except it's like the dredge is getting, like, something bad is happening to him, right? And so much so that he is dead.
Oof.
Evil.
Alright, now the Mesaloth's turn.
I'm
This...
starting to think Thorn might have the right of it.
Just because you don't have
I'm not
that
saying that
ability
in
yet.
character. Huh?
Just because you don't have that ability yet. You get it next level, right?
Just gonna move up.
No. We don't get that ability.
Wait.
It depends if
This
you work
one
for the devils or
away from our
demons.
scorpions.
He did, yeah. So your scorpions get a sting of opportunity.
Oh god. 8 of them, no less.
Oh, that does not hit. I'm sorry.
Whisk.
What's
It's so cute. Can you? They're all just like beep, 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 as he's walking past.
I mean, they're what, about that big?
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to pin cush him in. Okay, so the Mesaloths, that guy moves up there. Oh man, it's getting crowded back
Having
here.
way too much fun with those scorpions.
You know what? He's gonna move up in a bit further so that his friend can.
Yay!
Okay, so they're going to both attack. So there's some clawing
so
and
you-
tridenting.
This one also moved away from the scorpions, right?
Yeah, but they only get one reaction per round, so they used
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Darn it.
That would be nice, but It would also be pretty
Still learning.
deadly for- Yeah, no worries. Okay, so there's some clawing and tridenting going on. So that's that. And that's that. And I think they all hit. It's like a bloodbath down there, Grimm. These Mezzaloths just move in and just take apart this poor dredge that had no idea that it was gonna be just munched. It's kind
We're
of
still not sure whose side they're on.
scary, like how quickly they move in and just take that guy apart. Lulu dutifully flies in. Has a look.
Now I'm imagining the little trunk going like that.
little trunk.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Lulu is the character that's above Kashka's head on the overlay, so a little flying elephant-like angel.
Yeah, so she
We'll
she
see about
flutters in, and yeah, exactly. She's about to be judged on her angelicness.
Shrugs her shoulders and leaves.
Says to Thorn, "I have no idea who this is."
And Thorn's response, because he was holding his action,
He was.
is to continue holding,
Yeah.
or to shoot.
Okay, let me roll d20.
Somebody needs to tell Lulu that she's no longer celestial. Sit her down. Look, Lulu, I'm really sorry. I've got some terrible news for you.
You're
Yeah,
not
fine.
fired exactly, but
Alright, so you just rolled for
Yes.
something.
Yeah, I rolled to decide what I do. And
Ooh.
high is I'll attack the guy. So I will take my arrow shots.
I can see it now, the
Seems
after
legit.
discussion.
Now, by high, was that everything above a 1?
50-50.
Maybe.
Oh, that hits. That hits.
Ooh.
Both of
Oh
them?
boy.
Both of them.
Okay.
Yep.
I've never seen this man before in my life.
She had no idea she was signing his death warrant.
Meanwhile,
so I'm happy you have seen me before. I'm really happy.
We're not with the elf.
All right, Palkas.
I mean,
He
interesting way
fights
to meet
alongside
strange.
the demons. He has red eyes.
Interesting way
He's
to meet
shouting out.
strangers.
Falcon says,
There are no
I've
strangers
had
in
red
hell, only enemies.
eyes. Malvola has
We're in a
yellow eyes.
city.
What's this have to do with anything? Yours are purplish. Oh no, that's the triangle emblazoned on your face. Excuse me. So,
Oh, I just noticed we have the old Malvola token. Sorry.
we
What?
are using the old Malvola token.
All right, sorry. Go
He's
on.
being shy
What's-
today.
What's
Hey, that's my job.
It is.
what's Palkas doing?
Palkas is going to do something absolutely ridiculous, but it's going to start off normal. He's going to cast Mind Sliver on this one again, the Mezzaloth. So let's do that and get that out of the way. Sliver.
I don't know how to
Wheat.
do this.
Boy, I'm rolling crap for that cantrip, but oh well.
Hang on. On the same Mezzaloth?
Yep,
Okay.
focusing the same one.
Alright, sorry.
He's still okay?
He failed.
Okay. And he's still up and about then, yes?
He is, yeah. He does not look good.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Wow.
And he gets another Mind Thrust. With a -4 to his save.
Ow. That's playing kind of dirty.
It's actually how those two spells are supposed to work together. I've been casting them at weird
Minus
opportunities.
40. He rolled a 0 as it was.
Just making sure.
It explodes.
I feel like his
So
brain
say
is
it was
currently
-4.
oozing out of his ear, you know.
Well, something's oozing out. We're not sure if it's brains or not.
Yeah, you finish it.
All right, and Palkas moves stealthily this way, which I'm only going to have it. He can move 40 feet, so moving stealthily, I'm assuming he's only going to move half.
Okay.
Would that be about right?
Well, it's not difficult terrain, but make a stealth roll.
Okay.
Please.
Oh no.
You know, if you're going to take your time and only move half, then you can have advantage.
Okay.
Oh, damn it, I forgot I have advantage.
Oh, you said I get advantage.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do.
Oh,
stealth
so
again.
those rolls are broken with
There
the
we go.
dog team.
And he's moving here, next to the Minotaur corpse. How therapeutic.
You could put its skull on your head.
Oh god.
Like, where, like,
Don't worry.
just bust
This,
it.
the corpse has been thoroughly checked by rats. It's safe.
Yeah, exactly. There's loads of room for your head inside that.
Yeah.
Rats
I'm done with my turn, and
Okay.
he's trying to be stealthy, so I'm putting the ninja mask on him. All right. Okay.
And, Grimm.
Okay. We're going to go after the one to the side.
Subtle.
Doggone it.
Oh, I can't do that.
I imagine the first one hits, but not the second one.
Yes.
For 8 slashing, and for my bonus action, if it's still is it still standing? I take it.
Which one? Sorry. Totally wasn't.
The one to the
It's-
side.
Yes, it is still standing.
We'll take another swing at it
That
for another
hits,
15 points of slashing damage,
and you finish it.
and that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Saving the rest of my key points in case we have to fight.
Alright. Malvola.
Well, considering I can't even tell like where anybody is anymore.
Well, Grimm's kind of hard to miss.
Well, yeah, but the rest of these guys are on an elevation below the floor to me, so
Mhm.
Well, except for the guy that Thorn keeps shooting at.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
hide.
and you know that one
Yeah.
little gremlin walked away downstairs.
yes, but I can't see him because there's
That's
an
true.
obstruction here,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't like shoot at them.
I mean, there's a lot of dead
Um,
bodies now as well. I'm just saying.
The stairs are a bit difficult to traverse.
Yes. Definitely difficult terrain over here.
Probably getting pretty slick right now.
Yeah, after that, Mesloth just took apart that dredge. Absolutely.
I don't know. Can I get line of sight on these? Yeah, that's obstructed. That's
You could get that guy. Yeah. Like, you can see him, just about. Oh,
that's both on the one.
Yep, the second one hits.
That'll be 9.
Okay. Alright. Alright,
Bippity boop.
then the dredge, he is going to attack the Mesloth back.
Relentless little bugger.
He's the last of his kind. He tries to claw at him and misses, but he does manage to sink his teeth into him. And Mesloth takes a little bit of damage from that. Coyra.
Coyra just tells the scorpion. Watch if this gremlin is alive. If so, sting.
Okay.
Sting the gremlin.
So the scorpions get in formation. Like they're in this little like
They form a little claw shape. Pincer attack.
Ranks of 2x2.
Scorpion wall. They just stand one on top of the other.
Sting.
Okay, so they're stinging this guy? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. That does miss.
Thought so.
Alright, Thorn.
Oh, it's so hard to see my little scorpions now.
I know, they're in there somewhere.
I have them all selected.
Wonder what Thorn's gonna do.
No, screw it. I have the courage of my convictions.
As much as true.
I'm going to shoot old Red Eyes again.
Okay. Start spreading news. Oh god.
That is definitely commitment.
Oh boy.
They both hit.
Okay.
Really?
He has no armor.
Yeah, but he was doing some monk-like stuff, I thought. You'd think he'd have some dexterity to work with, but maybe he does, and just... I don't know. Oof.
Okay. Alright, he takes some damage from that.
Yep, I'll say,
Yep.
Thorn,
You would notice that he's not taking quite as much damage as you would expect.
Well, he did just kind of brush away the arrows before, so...
Yeah.
Well, every hit point we take down now is a hit point we don't go all super cyan on us.
He casts heal on himself. Oh, shit.
Well, that's a spell slot he's not going to turn on us, you know.
So
Clerics are tricky.
And the scroll burns from his hands. Dang.
it is his turn, and he looks at you, Thorn, and says, "Why do you attack me? There are demons." And he fixes this gaze on you. His eyes are kind of like glaring and slightly red. So could you roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh, and here I thought it'd be a charming gaze.
Sure. I wish. I'm an elf.
Oh, that's true.
Con.
I think I'm an unelf. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not quite good enough. You do feel your life being kind of, it's a withering, draining feeling, as his eyes kind of become these red hot, like coals that you're looking at, and he's kind of glaring at you. And you take some damage from that, and if I could remember for more than a split second, that would be great. Okay, so
130 hit points.
18.
And
it is
a bit tough.
It is necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage.
Okay, that's his turn. This Mesloth is going to try and finish this stretch. Clawing at him and hitting him with his trident. Oh, he misses both times, I think. Let me check. Yep, he sure does. Okay. Lulu is thoroughly confused. Am I an angel? Am I not? She's having like an identity crisis in the middle of battle. Palkas.
So Palkas is continue his stealthy Palkas moves to actually here. Let me just undo the no snapping. There we go. Him to be over here at the corner,
It's
so
like the crunk with the
right.
He's got
So
his
he
own
can-
theme music.
so you can peek in and stuff.
Okay.
He's going to be here. He's going to try and keep a low profile. And then he doesn't have much for excuse me, for any kind of stuff on there, but he's gonna keep an eye on this guy, because after hearing Thorn call to Lulu, he was assuming that Lulu responded with a bad guy type thing, considering that Thorn took the shot. He knows Thorn wouldn't take the shot unless he was sure, after asking an angel for guidance, you know? So, but he's going to keep an eye on...
talking about Thorn, right?
He's a bit of a sucker, remember, when it comes to believing people have good sides. I mean, he liked the flying Batman that was very sexily trying to get away from us before. So he's going to watch this guy, and any movements against any of his friends, I guess, would mean that he's going to cast Mind Thrust at level 3. But he's also going to reserve a reaction, just in case, you know. Obviously reactions are reactions, but for a held action, he's going to do a Mind Thrust at level 3 and holding it.
Okay. Got it. Right.
Because he obviously missed the fact that he just seethingly burned Thorn through stare vision.
Grimm?
I mean, do you blame him if you get multiple arrows shot at you?
I'd give him the death stare too, honestly.
But
Okay,
scorpions
so-
will be stinging someone else.
The stairs are likely treacherous. How
Covered with blood. And
Grimm is
gore.
going to kind of drop over the edge a bit.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I'm going to be over these things, the dead things. Okay,
Getting right in the thick of it.
and literally,
Yeah.
and launch an attack against the dretch. I don't know if that hits or not.
It does not.
Then we'll launch another attack against the dretch on the return stroke
Very nice.
That will definitely hit.
for 14 slashing. Is it still standing?
It is.
I'll just make. No, I'll just make an additional attack.
Oh, that just hits. Oh.
Another 16 points of slashing damage.
Jesus.
Well, I'm using the katana two-handed.
I know.
Wait, hang on.
That
Sorry.
ups
You were attacking the...
The dretch.
the dretch.
God damn it. Okay.
Gotta re-add the points to the
Mhm.
Mesoloth.
I don't know where my head is today. It's closed.
Of course, if the first attack took out the dretch, that last one would have been against the Mesoloth.
No,
but-
the first one wouldn't have quite finished him, but the second one certainly would have.
Off with its head.
Yeah.
And then that ends my turn
Okay.
as I'm standing in gore.
Yes. Malvola.
and I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
Ew.
Squishing my
Yeah.
I can imagine the feeling. Ew, no. Gross.
squishing between my possibly furry toes.
It's like
At least you
jello,
have something to protect
maybe
you.
pudding.
Oh no, it's gonna stick in there.
I'm still going after the Mesoloth. That's the only target I can see other than the dude, and I'm not convinced he's dangerous to us.
Okay. That will hit.
Well, he sucked a little bit of life out of Thorn, but then Thorn did attack him,
They
so.
both hit.
Yes. Imagine all the arrows sticking in you. You would attack Thorn too.
Yeah, all those arrows he's partially immune to, despite them being silver.
Well, in the guy's
That's
defense,
at least his second, perhaps third use of some horrible life-draining ability. And his eyes glowed red. These are all really good signs of a nice, happy person.
So, what you are saying is humans are not supposed to have red glowing eyes. Come on.
That is
Who
one of
said
the
he was
things I'm
human?
saying.
Hey, Malvola's used the
Indeed.
life-draining ability already.
Malvola
has yellow eyes.
I literally get my powers from demons. I've been doing it for like 4 months now, and I have yet to get an arrow. So this guy just barges into the room. That again, not quite holding water.
again, in the guy's defense, I have considered stabbing or attacking Thorn on occasion, and I haven't gotten any arrows to prompt it, so.
Here's the funny part: is that I've hurt more
Alright,
people in
hands
this
up
party,
if
and
you've
nobody's come
considered
after me
attacking.
yet.
But see, you
Yeah.
don't do it intentionally.
You'd like to think that.
No, he did do it intentionally to Grimm at one
Oh yeah,
back
that
in
one
the
time.
mansion.
hmm
Oh damn,
this
you
is-
have good
so-
memory.
He's got 25 ranks in deception. So yeah, just kidding.
Palkas is already on Grimm's list.
hmm
Right, so the metal.
I'm so happy that entanglement doesn't damage you.
The Mesoloth is still standing.
Of course it is.
Okay.
The dretches are all dead. I said delete. Okay, so
Deady
Coyra,
dretch.
it is actually your turn.
Yeah, so Coyra has no idea what's happening, so oops, she moves here to. Can she see over the railing
You'd have to kind of
if
hop
she's
up
standing there?
to do it. It's like a wall, so you have to kind of hop up to see what's over.
She tries to do that to just hang in there, look what's going on, to command the scorpions to sting the gremlin again.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of like pull yourself up a little bit, peek over, and you see Grimm and fairly
The gremlin.
fairly wounded looking Mesoloth.
Right.
Mesoloth gremlin.
Dretch is gone.
Even though they all miss, Coyra just says to the scorpions, "Good job!" She tries to encourage them.
This little formation of scorpions scuttling around. Alright. Then Thorn, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to move up to here,
Oh.
switching to my rapier as I go. And I'm going to hold
And
my
then you
action
get
again.
stabbed.
No, if he does anything other than attack this Mesoloth, he's getting stabbed.
Okay.
He just turns around and says, "Hi, stab."
Hi, my name is
That is-
Stab.
My name is Stab.
If he doesn't regard that thing as an immediate threat that needs putting down, he gets
Yeah.
stabbed.
It's a good point. Yep, totally.
Are you calling out that there's a Mesoloth there for him to stab? Because he was looking at
He
you
can see it.
last. He was looking at you last, though.
He's seen them both.
True. But he also just saw you just charge up to him.
Okay, so
Just thinking, you know.
I'm giving him a chance.
I'm impressed.
Doesn't
I'm
sound like
impressed.
a
Don't get me
fair
wrong.
chance.
I'm being very generous.
Alright, so he,
Introduces himself.
he turns from you.
I'm older Raven Guard.
I think Lulu would know if that was older Raven.
He says, do not stand in my way. And he turns from you and walks towards the Mesoloth. You can't tell, like, well, he's moving towards the Mesoloth. Oh, now I see the little scorpion.
By the way, just so you know, they have moved again. Just so you know.
And he casts Heal Wounds.
Is he stepping on my scorpions? Dude.
So he moves towards the Mesoloth, but he does not attack him.
He's moved away from you at this point.
Yeah, in the fairness of the limits on held action, I guess Thorn would dither to see if he was going to attack the Mesoloth and let him get away a couple of.
Okay.
One of his way of attacking is punching, so.
Yeah,
that's true.
but he hasn't done so.
No,
He has against those goblins earlier.
No, he hasn't punched this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
And he doesn't, and he kind of pushes the Mesoloth to one side and moves past him.
Why didn't we do that? Just push
because
the
we're not allied to it.
You sure?
I'll push the scorpions to the side.
Right, so hang on, how far is that? It's 20, but that was kind of difficult terrain, climbing over that. All those dead bodies. Yeah, but he's gonna continue to move. He's using his action to kind of like move further, and he's heading all the way downstairs.
Coyra is just hanging there looking.
The Mesoloth is kind of like the Mesoloth is going to use its action to disengage and follow him.
Bye.
Okay.
Lulu is just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even know. So Palkas, it is your turn.
I would have loved to have released the spell, but the trigger didn't actually happen. So even seeing the Mesoloth running, I would have like pinged it in the back if I could, but still, the trigger didn't happen. I has regrets. So he'll still hold the action. He'll still hold it for the moment. And try peeking in to see if there's any other targets. And not see any. And he'll do what he can to try and hold the shot for now and try and keep secret. Just so he can get a surprise shot on somebody if it needs to happen in the next round.
Okay. All right. Grimm.
I noticed there was no opportunity attacks you made there, or you couldn't because it made a disengage. It made a disengage.
Yep.
But old Red Eyes just kind of pushed his way right past.
Yeah, I'm still confused.
Yep.
I'm confused, and Grimm's confused about whose side this guy's on.
Well, it's simple. If he weighs
seems
the same as a duck, then you stab him with the two-handed sword that you got from the god, right?
Yeah, but best guess is he serves the same god I got the sword from.
Then it wouldn't
based
hurt him,
on
right?
his vestments. So it
Yeah, but not based on him life draining people.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
That's a little detail.
Kind of.
Palkas knows necromancy, so. And so does Malvola.
Not really the right domain for the god of light, however.
Yeah.
It was just classified under necromancy. That's all.
I'm gonna move down the stairs a little bit and call after him. Who are you?
Okay.
See if I get any kind of response from him.
Get an introduction.
And if he makes any kind of threatening move, he will get a sin bolt to the face.
Okay.
See how he likes the light.
He does kind of pause for a moment and will look back kind of over his shoulder and kind of pauses like 1 foot on a lower step and he looks at you and says, "I'm Gideon Lightwood. Who are you?"
Grimm, servant of Thorn.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
Nah.
Okay.
And
He hasn't made any kind of aggressive move, and I'm not Thorn, so.
So, servant of Torm and wielder of the light of Lathander. That has quite a ring to it.
Yeah.
Grimm's got an intelligence of 11. That didn't occur to him yet.
That's above average. Come on.
What would you like to
Yeah, but there's too much confusing stuff going on. But yeah, that's it for me until something swings one way or the other.
Okay, doke.
Even that Mezzaloth, I'm kind of watching warily.
It's watching you warily as well.
Name was
I feel like you're just about to.
Yeah, and I haven't put the sword away.
Gideon Light. What?
Gideon Lightwood.
Lightwood. There we go.
Well, wood in the name is not a good thing. I'm starting to agree with Thorn.
It's like this. Like this.
Whatever.
Oh, light
Oh,
word.
light word.
Mm-hmm. Like.
I was gonna say, isn't a thorn technically dead wood?
The suspicion is gone.
Alright, Malvola, what are you up to?
I'm just following downstairs because I figure there's more where that.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Palkas is just being sneaky, and Thorn's probably like looking right at him, and Palkas is like, "He can't see me." Who's bored in the darkness? No. So.
Coyra?
Coyra?
Coyra is gonna tell the little scorpions to make one more attempt on the gremlin, while encouraging them, as they can move 10 feet.
Okay. God, if this finishes that would be hilarious. Oh, that doesn't hit. Oh,
Stealth
that was really close, but one more. And it would
I
have
mean, I didn't expect them. But you see what cheering them on does?
been...
It went from a 5 to a 17.
Oh, and Thorn is AFK for a sec.
I would think he would probably follow as well, since everybody's going downstairs.
I think that's kind of important to.
Yeah.
That or he would shoot him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, probably both. Follow and shoot.
Follow while shooting.
See, top of the stairs, lots of enemies. Probably, what was it? Take the orc's shield, throw it on the ground, and jump on it and slide down the stairs on it while shooting them.
Now you forgot he pulls out his AK crossbow.
Little crank.
Sets it on automatic.
So you guys.
Wait, it wasn't yet?
Oh, here we go.
Well, it probably is by default, but.
All right, Ghostwoods.
And he's back. I guess we go stop talking about him.
Yeah.
The scorpions that
Don't
tried
rewatch the
to
stream.
attack the Mezzoloth, but failed.
But encouraging them helped.
Yep. And Malvola started moving down the stairs after, in pursuit. It is now your turn. You are muted. I blame the cat. It's the cat, we know.
But which one?
Does he still have my arrows sticking in it?
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 still. Yep.
There's just 1 or 2. I'm going to get the others more, and also the ones that I shot at the spiky boy, and then follow down the stairs. But my action will be gathering whatever arrows I can.
Okay. All right. So then, if nobody is stopping him, he is going to proceed kind of down the stairs, and I'm going to move you guys over to the next map. There's only going to be one bit that is uncovered. Oh, and it is in the lower right.
I cannot copy paste my scorpions.
Oh, God.
I think we're a bunch of dots.
The fact, don't worry.
Alright, so he's proceeding on.
But of course he is.
And he looks like he's heading for these doors here.
Did the turn order mess up for anyone else?
Yeah, blank.
It is.
But we're out of combat, sort of.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
actually probably a good thing. Yeah, let me get rid of it for now, because if it's gone away anyway. That's pretty weird that it does that
Okay.
when you change maps. Anyway, so he kind of throws open this door at the bottom. Oh, no, he doesn't have to throw it open. It's already open. He's heading towards kind of this doorway here, and then he pauses for a minute when he hears that you're all following him, and says, who are you? And
I thought Grimm already answered that.
well, he says he was Grimm, but he says, who are you and which side are you on?
Which side of what?
He is so.
Coyra just goes, "Hi, I'm Coyra."
We're the Mist Wolves, and we're on the side of good.
Well, Grimm did say that he was worshiper.
Servant of Thorn.
Yeah, servant of Thorn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
We are still the Mist
Scorp-
Wolves, right? Is that right?
Sure.
Yes, we are the
Sure.
Mistwolves.
Look, the scorpions are happy from the encouragement.
It's either that, it's either Mistwolves or Fog Dogs. I don't know. Depends on how good we're doing. I think we're Fog Dogs right now. So.
Grizzle puppies.
So is anybody going to answer? Or?
Well, Coyra.
Yeah, that was my answer.
Coyra.
That was my answer. We're the Mist Wolves,
sides
and we're
are
on
you
the
talking
side of
about?
good, you fiend. The devils and the demons. What other sides are there in this vile shithole?
There's no arguing.
He
with
says, what are you doing in my chapel?
Looking for someone.
I so want to shoot him again.
that. I know you're like.
But I'm not.
Thorn is at the top of the stairs, barely hearing the conversations. Or Thorn.
Palkas.
Palkas is at the top of the stairs,
So
barely hearing the
Coyra
conversation.
actually is too, and she's like,
And he's
she
trying
had
to
to go all around.
He's trying to get Lulu's come along with
So
him.
I think Grimm had said that they were here looking for someone.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
He did. I think he's got a bunch of his answers so far. So, no offense.
Well, he'll ask who you're looking for.
And everybody just kind of looks at each other at this point, is what I'm thinking. Nobody's really volunteering the information because we don't trust him.
Well,
I
Coyra
mean,
doesn't
how
remember
could it
the
be
guy's
any
name
worse?
anymore.
Older Raven Guard. Big pot.
Says begrudgingly.
Coyra just nods like, oh yes, that dude. She forgot the name.
Yeah, just call him Scooter. We'll all understand.
Scooter.
He says, well, there was an armed group of humans that entered this level earlier.
And?
He says, perhaps one of them is who you're looking for.
Do you think they're still down here?
He says, well, I allowed them to enter. He says, but I don't see why I should allow you to enter.
Coyra just asks, what side are you on?
That's a good question.
Look, he's shouting about having to kill demons, and he's chummy with the devil. He's on the devil side of the blood war, obviously.
Coyra is not good with people. Leave it alone.
You're also assuming that we know anything about the Blood War.
We probably do.
Thorn has a copy of Apocalypto and he's read it.
Yeah, some of us did study and spread some of this information, so.
That's true.
I mean, Coyra's study was using birds, so it's debatable.
He kind of looks at the Mesaloth, and says to it, go, make sure there are no others. And the Mesaloth will kind of disappear through the doorway. Well, not disappear, just goes through the doorway, and you can see down here because these doors are open. So let me do this. So it goes down the stairs and kind of disappears around one of these corners.
Okay.
So
I'm just wondering why a priest of Lathander would be taking one side or the other.
Are the doors open or closed now?
They're open.
You're saying that out loud to him, right?
Like this door, these doors.
Well, I'm saying it in kind of out loud, but in kind of amusing, not necessarily directly to him, but loud enough that he'd hear it easily.
Mm-hmm.
That it seems strange to me.
Coyra tells one of the scorpions to just go and look around a bit.
Okay. He's going to he'll approach kind of this doorway here and stands kind of squarely in the doorway and says, I think you should leave now.
My scorpion got past.
Single scorpions can save the day. That's it right there.
And what if we don't want to leave?
He says, this is not your place to say who gets to stay and who gets to leave this chapel and ossuary. He says, you have outright attacked me. He says,
well, only one of us did.
He says, why should I let you stay?
Whose temple is this? And don't say yours. Which deity?
He says, did you not see the windows upstairs?
Yes, there's windows to both Torm and Lathander.
He says, there's your answer.
So you would bar a priest of Torm from entering a temple or sanctuary dedicated to Torm?
He says, and you would keep company with one who attacks a priest of Lathander?
You're no priest of Lathander. Or at least not anymore.
He's actually completely ignoring Thorn and just
Though he does kind of have a point about, I've never known a priest of Lathander to do that gaze thing.
So make an insight
Kind of
check.
goes against the tenets of Lathander.
Make an insight check, Grimm.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't.
It's wisdom based. Of course, I'm going to get high on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it confirms your own feelings, right? That you don't trust him. You don't think he's being open with you. And the other thing, you notice. Well, make a perception check actually.
Oh boy. There it is.
The wounds that he had, seem to no longer be a problem.
Wait, what? I didn't catch all of that.
He's not wounded anymore.
The wounds that he had are no longer there.
And he hasn't cast any spells.
The wounds are
So
just
he's
on the
regenerating.
plane of existence.
I still wonder why a priest of Lathander would side with either devils or demons.
Now that is a good question.
So why do you side with one or the other? You should be against both.
He says, perhaps.
Or is Lathander no longer your deity?
He says, you don't understand. He says, you have to choose a side. He says, you cannot be here and not choose.
So you're saying you have to choose either the devils or the demons. That shouldn't be a choice. Should be neither.
He says, clearly.
If you're still a priest of Lathander, where's your holy symbol?
He says, clearly you have not been here long. You don't understand.
You bear the vestments, but where is your holy symbol?
He says, I think you should leave now.
I don't think I will be.
Oh, this is when the crowd just like goes, oh,
You just see the scorpions.
Little tiny pins.
Coyra casually goes, oh no, I lost a scorpion, we can't leave.
He says, look, my focus is on stopping the demon incursion of Elturel at all costs.
My focus is finding Alder Ravengard, and his last location was somewhere in the cemetery. I'm going to check to see if he is here.
He says, as keeper of this chapel, I have a problem with letting a group like you, and he kind of gestures at all of you, enter this sacred place.
You just gestured at all of me.
Since I doubt you still serve Lathander, that does not make you keeper of this temple any longer.
You have more good arguments.
I have more right to claim that title than you.
He says, are you going to stay and defend it? I doubt it.
I have no problem with you staying and defending it. My problem is with you barring our path.
And, sending devils in. Just saying.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. That one.
It was inevitable. I was getting 2 good rolls. Of course, I was kind of going for intimidation rather than persuasion. But
yeah, do you want to do that instead?
After that roll, yeah. Even though intimidation isn't really any better, it's charisma based.
I should have asked you which one.
Charisma of 10, but I'll take that roll.
Okay, so he kind of backs off a bit.
Keep in mind, I've still got the sword from Lathander in my hand.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't.
Will you let us through?
Yeah, he doesn't say anything, and he just takes a step back. And he just kind of gestures. He puts like a hand, towards the double set of doors, and
glance back, kind of at the party, but with a specific gaze at Thorn. Don't attack him unless he gives us cause. As in, aggressive moved against us.
I like how you had to clarify.
Well, he's kind of getting used to and getting to know Thorn. And at that point, I'll head toward the double doors.
Okay.
Aha, you sprung my trap card.
Yeah, so you see steps going down, and then it appears to branch right and left, and steps continue further in both directions.
To the bottom of the steps.
Okay.
I got my scorpion back.
So that's that way.
You're like wearing this wreath of scorpions.
That's that way.
And Palkas comes through and reveals himself from stealth at this point. Excuse me. Well behind the other people. And he's still doing, like, I guess semantic movements. I can't remember. I think it's just a verbal that he needs to do for psionic. Oh, not psionic blast. Mind thrust. It is verbal and semantic. All right, so he already did the verbal. And he's still just kind of like focusing the spell. And he's just kind of glaring at the guy. And he just walks past him. Still holding the spell as he does.
Okay. Yeah, Lulu will kind of follow right behind Coyra.
And the scorpion.
And the parade of scorpions.
So is this actually Coyra's scorpion
She's like
shield?
a duck.
This is what?
Is this your scorpion shield? You actually are like wearing scorpion armor now, is it?
Or at least a scorpion necklace.
I don't think they're big enough for even a necklace. Maybe a ring or two.
No,
They're an arm
right or
bracelet.
left.
So
Ah,
which
take it off
direction are we
center.
going?
Don't it?
But yeah, which direction did the Mezzoloth go?
Don't know. We're too occupied with
Hmm.
Gideon back there.
My scorpion could not tell. It did not have speech. Sorry.
By the way, just to mention as well, we got so focused on Gideon that we never talked about this room. That's my fault completely. It is ransacked just like the rooms above.
Okay.
So there's like broken
Ignore the
furniture,
random things I'm making.
yeah, all that jazz. Just so you know, it's not like empty. There is
Damn it.
broken.
So he's doing a great job of protecting this place.
Like
The
I'm
word
reporting,
defiling springs to mind.
reporting you to your supervisor.
Yeah.
Who's your supervisor?
So Grimm and Thorn, could you make survival checks, please? While you're standing there, kind of deciding which way to go.
We can certainly try.
It's this way.
No,
That's
it's
actually
this way.
Nope, this way.
Considering I've got a +7, that's a kind of crap roll.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like that persuasion roll.
Yep. I could have rolled.
So Grimm, you see tracks of multiple demons spread, from in the kind of detritus that's in like this room and down these steps. You see these tracks of multiple demons, and amid those tracks, you notice there's a single group of kind of booted footprints moving down the stairs, and they seem to go actually in both directions, so not helping you much, but you do see that they go in this direction, and you can see them in this direction.
Do they look to be about the size of Gideon's feet? By guess.
It is
The
like
booted prints.
it's a group, right? So it's like more than one person.
Just how many people are down here? So Thorn, which way do we want to go? Right or
All
left?
our raging guard didn't come down here alone.
Well,
There is that.
I've got a 20. Can I see whether there's any evidence that one of the directions a greater number of booted people than the other?
Looks. Oh, go. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Go, you. You go first.
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
These ones look fresher. Like they look like they're not quite as old.
Okay, so we go left.
This way smells not quite so foul.
Alright. So this area, as you kind of come around the corner, god damn it, roll 20. Oh, these maps and their curves. It's gonna be the death of me. So this kind of curves around, right? And you can see here, because I've got a description to read to you. The walls, as you see them curve around, are set with like alcoves or shelves, and each has dusty humanoid bones. On some shelves, you notice that they're kind of a little better presented, and in fact include relics or holy symbols of Lathander, Torm, Helm, and Tyr in front of the bones.
So once again, we're presented with right or left.
Any further signs of track?
They seem to be going to the right this time.
Right. Okay.
Continue on.
Which way are you going? Seeing your scorpions go one way, you go the other.
I lost my scorpion. I had to look for them. They went by character.
Alright, so yeah, all in these walls, all around here are all these little, alcoves. This is truly like a catacomb, Okay. So this area opens out into kind of this bigger space. Like this. And you can see it kind of continues on in this direction, in this direction.
Do we need fresh survival checks yet?
Yes, because you would see that at this point you've kind of lost the footprints.
Oh, fantastic.
They took flight.
Well, it seemed actually like when you saw them coming down these steps, it seemed like the footprints were wet, like they'd stepped in fluid, you know.
like a whole bunch
And,
of dretch
Intestines.
intestines. Sorry.
but now that as you've kind of followed them round, it's like, you know, they're getting drier and drier, and yeah, at this point, even with your 25, you can't find them anymore. And what you do see is like there's a whole bunch of demon tracks.
Is there anything in the space to the left?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So this does this. Yeah. Like this.
Yay, more splitting of points.
Usually Draugrs would spawn here, and you have to watch out.
Exactly what I was thinking.
You have to watch out for like the little swing traps that come on around the doors here. There's usually a pressure plate.
Palkas, why don't you go check that out?
I am not the NPC. No.
Yeah, that's why.
You're not the red shirt in this away team?
The NPC can die when it reaches 0.
Don't talk about Lulu like that.
Well, I'm trying
I
to
thought
keep
it was
alive.
that rare.
I'm trying to keep
guessing-
Lulu alive.
I'm guessing that goes across to the other side.
Oh, I'm losing my scorpions again.
So I'm going to move up here and kind of look in both directions.
Okay. It's like this. And then over here.
What's happening?
It's like this.
Nothing.
I'm
We're
yelling at
getting
my
lost in the
scorpions.
maze.
I'm yelling at my scorpions. They're not behaving.
They're scorpions.
So let me
Well,
just
technically they're fake.
I'm surprised they're still around.
Yeah, actually, same.
It was an
Well,
hour,
that's
right?
Spell
Yeah,
lasts
it's a-
for an hour.
Yeah.
Hour-long
Yeah.
concentration.
Good God.
So then this is kind of opening out into like this bigger chamber, right? And the shelves along the stone walls are above these 6 kind of dioceses. And
6 or 6?
6. And it's, there's basically along this wall over here are you know, these shelves, these little alcoves are floor to ceiling.
I could send my scorpions in the big empty room.
You don't get to see
But
through their eyes.
No, and it's too slow. By the time they come back, we are vanished. Poof, gone.
Anyone want a scorpion kebab?
They're not real
Mm,
scorpions. Keep that
delicious.
in mind.
Cooked or uncooked?
They just look like scorpions. Keep that in mind.
Mhm.
They are actually fake creatures.
Even tastier.
Mm.
Okay, let's check down the stairs.
Okay. So this opens like this.
Well,
I mean, we don't know what kind of place this guy is in if he's here. So got to check, in theory, everywhere.
Lulu.
So this area is set with the area that you're kind of looking into then, Grimm, is set with cushions and low stools of brown oak. You do see actually over here, you can see kind of the edges of another empty dais, and the wall is covered with a mosaic shaped from what looks like coloured chips of bones, artfully arranged to depict scenes of funerals, the migration of souls, and the celestial realms. And along the bottom of this mural is lettering that reads, "Contemplate life, death comes soon enough." Kind of see how this wall continues.
Is it ironic to find that message in hell?
Well, it wasn't in hell when it was put there, so in theory.
Let's just do this. And these are, you can see stairs kind of proceeding.
And just to see how close people are paying attention, since everybody seems to sort of be following me.
You can sneak around the corner. Yeah, Thorn, you lose sight.
I'm at least going to go over here and take a look up or down the stairs.
I'm going to go up to here to see if he's visible down the far end.
Okay. No sign of Grimm there.
Palkas lets the spell fizzle and looks at these dioces briefly.
So you're looking at those dioces? Yeah, I mean, they're bare.
Okay.
They're just plain stone. Nothing particularly special.
Okay.
Well, since nothing bad ever happens when you split the party.
No,
I'm going to come back down to here. And then
Oh god.
Let's check out
follow
up
up.
here.
You find a door.
We're looking for a Mezzaloff.
Well, we shouldn't have been following the booted human footprints then.
Wow.
I'm going to give it a listen to see if there's anything, I hear anything on the other side.
Okay. Let's see. You hear, well, give me, oh, is that you? Thank you. That was your perception.
I figured you'd ask for one,
Yeah,
so.
thank you. So you hear on the other side, a man's voice, and he's like gibbering almost. The words are unintelligible, and yeah, it's just kind of this constant kind of spew of random, undecipherable words.
Is this similar to those guys that we ran into in the church originally? Like,
Not the ones that were laughing and
yeah,
shouting about it being a good day to die.
Okay,
no,
open
they were
the
actually
door.
saying regular stuff. Never mind.
You open the door? Okay, doke.
Yep.
So, you see in front of you, this kind of extends. There's a pool of water, and you can see bobbing in the pool what looks like human bodies.
Stupid scorpions.
And there is a low wrought iron railing that you can see kind of there around the pool. So the shallow it looks quite shallow, and there are frescoes on the walls depicting again souls kind of migrating and gaining blessings from various deities, all the four favorites of this particular chapel. And
Wait, we left Lulu behind.
Lulu so yeah, when you're looking kind of further into this room, you see the man who is speaking unintelligibly, and he looks oh boy, this is where it fails epically. He is clad in plate armor. He has a helm on his head, and his eyes are closed, and it's a golden helm, and he's clutching at it and kind of clawing at it and gibbering, and his head is like shaking from side to side, and it's like he's trying in vain to kind of claw this helm off of his head.
It might be a stretch, but does it look like the depiction in the stained glass window upstairs?
Oh, it sure does.
So that's likely the helm of Thorn, which makes this guy potentially the guy we're looking for.
Yeah. And I think here I'm going to.
And I'm sensing we're gonna stop there, or I'm gonna throw this surprise at you, and then we're gonna stop.
I'm going to show you his picture. Boop. And then yes, we are going to stop there.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know who this could be. I have no idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm noticing he's
mystery.
kind of.
Yeah, mysterious handout.
Yeah.
I think it's Mysterio.
Yeah. Cheers.
Of course, he could be a
Cheers, roll 20.
devil in disguise, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Thorn will shoot him.
Adding the names to absolutely every single handout.
Yeah,
That
it's
is just
bad.
Mwah. Jackasses.
Great planning.
Well, there we go, folks. Another day
Love
in
you.
Dungeons and Dragons: The Descent into Avernus. We will not be here for next week, but we should return
Yeah,
the week
sorry
after.
about that.
So we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thanks again for tuning in. Kashcah, you will want to make note that you have inspiration.
I know, I didn't get to use it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save it for.
No. You can go ahead and forget that.
Hey,
She might need it to save all
And
the
good
wonder.
news, in spite of that inspiration, we all lived.
hey, she might use it for Lulu.
She might
It's
use it
true.
for older.
Yeah, I should save it
Yes.
for Lulu.
She might
because-
use it to change one of the attacks on a scorpion for all we know. So
Oh, that's true. Is it?
anyway,
Well,
thanks everybody for
scorpion.
tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep,
Bye.
thanks. Bye.
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 Bye.